What I want you to do is get yourself a bin. You might need it to be bigger than this one. Make sure that it has a bin liner and look around your house for anything that is fragranced, anything that gives off a scent, and simply pop it in one of these and then wait for the bin men to collect it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. Today I'm going to be exposing air fresheners, Glade plugins, fragrances, Yankee candles, basically any of that stinky, scenty stuff that is marketed as perfectly safe, completely non-toxic. I'm going to be exposing why that is a complete and utter lie. And if you are a person that has air fresheners in their car or in their house and you regularly suffer from headaches and migraines, you will want to watch this video. I've been preaching for years on my channel about Glade plugins in particular and how toxic things with fragrances are to the human body, but I've never went into granular detail about the why. I personally avoid anything that is scented like the plague, and when I am exposed to something that has a scent or a synthetic fragrance, I always feel the effects from it. But obviously I wanted to do some further research to present to you guys in this video, and what I found was quite alarming. Even though I will be speaking a lot about air fresheners in particular, just bear in mind that I am also speaking about anything else that has a strong fragrance or is particularly sold with the sole purpose of making things smell nice. The use of air fresheners is associated with elevated levels of volatile organic compounds, such as formaldehyde, acetaldehyde, benzene, toluene, and many more. For the rest of this video, we're going to refer to those as VOCs. Air fresheners, even the ones called green and organic, can emit potentially hazardous chemicals. Fewer than 10% of air freshener ingredients are typically disclosed to the public. Over 20% of the general US population report adverse health effects from air fresheners. Most of us are of the belief that every single product that is out there on the market by law has to disclose all of their ingredients. Well, if a product contains the word fragrance, you can pretty much guarantee that you do not know what the ingredients are within that product. And in this video, you'll understand why. The use of the word fragrance is actually a loophole that companies can use this word to generalize a concoction of potentially up to 100 different chemicals. And I'll go into this much deeper in a bit. First, let's just look at the potential adverse health effects that can happen if you are breathing in air fresheners on a regular basis. Air freshener exposures, even at low levels, have been associated with a range of adverse health effects, which include migraine headaches, asthma attacks, breathing difficulties, respiratory difficulties, mucosal symptoms, dermatitis, infant diarrhea and earache, neurological problems, and ventricular fibrillation. I myself can say personally that whenever I am in someone's house where they have either a Yankee candle or an air freshener or anything that is emitting a strong scent, I will get headaches. Guaranteed. Sometimes debilitating migraines. And what people need to understand is that this doesn't just happen for no good reason. The reason why this is happening is because your body is trying to fight off toxic overload. People really need to take into consideration that by having these things in your house, they could be contributing or causing a plethora of health problems. And if you go to the doctor and say, "Doctor, I have this problem," they won't ask you if you have air fresheners. They'll just prescribe you medication to cover up the symptoms that you are being toxically poisoned. In addition to population-based studies, specific air freshener chemicals emitted from air fresheners have been associated with adverse effects to the neurological, cardiovascular, respiratory, reproductive, immune and endocrine systems, and with cancer. For instance, acetaldehyde, which can be both a primary and secondary emission from air fresheners, is associated with both acute and chronic hazards to the respiratory system and classified as a carcinogenic hazardous air pollutant in the US. Now, most of us that are on this natural health journey have become very used to reading ingredients in products and looking out for key ingredients that we know to avoid. But this is where it gets tricky, because the problem with any product that contains the word fragrance is that a multitude of these toxic ingredients can be included in the fragrance, and legally, the companies do not have to disclose that. Air fresheners are not required to disclose all ingredients, and typically do not. For example, in a comparison of declared and undeclared substances for 6 air freshener products, found high percentages of the number of undeclared substances and high percentages of the concentrations of undeclared substances relative to the total number and total concentration of declared and undeclared substances. That's a very difficult sentence to understand, so let me break it down. What this article is outlining is basically, if you were to actually get these products from the shelves and do a test to see what ingredients are actually in it, there will be a multitude of ingredients that will come up and test positive, but they are not mentioned in the ingredients list. In an analysis of phthalate emissions from air fresheners, including those marked as all natural or unscented, none of the products listed phthalates on their labels. Primary phthalates detected but undisclosed were as follows. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce any of these, but as you can see, they are different types of phthalates. If you want to know more about phthalates, I can do a video about it, or simply just do a little bit of research and you will find that this chemical can cause specifically issues with fertility. And it has become that wide known that this chemical is toxic that now companies will actually state in part of their marketing that their particular organic product does not contain phthalates. For example, the shampoo and conditioner that I use has a list on the side of what is not in the ingredients, and phthalates is one of them. An analysis of VOX from common air fresheners, including ones called green and organic, found fewer than 10% of volatile ingredients disclosed on the product label or anywhere else to the public. Ingredients listed were typically general or neutral sounding ones, such as fragrance, essential oils, water, organic perfume, or quality control ingredients. All air fresheners tested emitted chemicals classified as toxic or hazardous under US federal laws. However, fewer than 1% of these potentially hazardous chemicals were listed on any product label or material safety data sheet. The non-disclosure of air freshener chemicals is legal. The general public lacks awareness and assurance of the meaning of green. This is a huge thing that I have discussed on my channel. I've done a video all about greenwashing. Most people, they want an easy life. They'll go to the supermarket and maybe they're looking to reduce the amount of toxins that they have in their household or reduce the amount of chemicals. So what they choose to do is they'll look for any product that has all natural written on the front, or maybe it'll have something very misleading on the front saying 99.9% natural aloe vera. But then as you look on the ingredients list, you'll find that there is a concoction of chemicals, but it said natural on the front. Well, if you actually look, it will probably say something like 100% natural aloe vera, meaning that the aloe vera is natural. Do you get what I'm saying? It's manipulative. What they're hoping for is that you're not going to pay attention, you're going to just see the word natural very quickly, and you're just going to grab it, put it in your basket, and that will be done. The general public lacks awareness and assurance of the meaning of green. A survey of the US population found that 72.6% were not aware that fragrance products, even the ones called green and organic, can emit hazardous air pollutants, and 60% would not continue to use a fragrance product if they knew that it emitted such pollutants. When it comes to air fresheners, any claims of it being green or organic are essentially unregulated and unmonitored. There is no way to monitor it because as soon as you put the word fragrance in, like I said before, you know for a fact that there's ingredients in there that they don't have to tell you are in there. And the more I thought about this, the more it caused more light bulb moments, because if you do actually check the ingredients in most products, there are so many that contain the word fragrance. You can avoid it, of course you can. There's a good amount of products out there that do not contain the word fragrance, but when you think about the fact that people have fragrance in their washing powder, fragrance in their air fresheners, then they have a Yankee candle, then they have makeup. So many makeup products have fragrance in the makeup. Then you're washing your body with fragranced body wash. Then you're putting on deodorant with fragrance in it. Then, you need to go to the shops and you need to pick up some fairy liquid, but then you have to go through an aisle that is absolutely jam-packed with all of these different chemicals and smells. Me personally, I avoid that aisle like the plague. If I need to get something from that aisle, I will literally hold my breath and I will run, pick it up and run away. One thing that I want to highlight is, out of all of the different health problems that you can get from inhaling these things, one of them is neurological problems. Now, it is becoming more and more known that the chemicals that they use in these fragrances can cause brain fog. It reduces your cognitive ability. And to put it bluntly, that's what the puppet masters want. They want us to have brain fog. They want us to not be able to think for ourselves. If you think about it, the bombardment of all of these strong chemicals is an attack on our intellect. It's an attack on every aspect of our body, really, but cognitively, it's a huge attack. I mean, what is a headache and a migraine? It's obviously an issue that is specifically going on in this area. And I know that I'm always the person on here that says, hey, remember that thing that you've used all of your life that you really love? It's poisoning you. I know that I'm that person that says that, but to bring it back a little bit, I just want everybody to know that your body is so much stronger than what you believe. Your body is actually constantly fighting toxic pollutants that it's being attacked with on all angles all the time. I know that the mainstream tries to tell you that your body is a ticking time bomb and that it's actually very weak, and that at any given moment lightning will strike someone with an illness that's just come out of nowhere, and that we all need the doctor and we need this medication to fix us. Our broken bodies, our broken cells that are just falling apart at the seams. That's not the reality. The reality is actually the opposite. We are healthy by default. The things that make us unhealthy are the toxins, the toxic overload, the bad food that's not even food, it's processed, it's junk, it may as well be plastic, the stuff they put in the water, fluoride overload, medications, air fresheners, perfumes, chemicals, the list goes on, Teflon pans, poison. We've got all of these things attacking us from all angles, and yet our body is still here, still fighting our corner. What I'm saying in this video is that if you give it a little help, if you cut out the shit that you don't necessarily need, why not help your body along? If you're a person who is obsessed with fragrances and you love perfume, then maybe to you it's worth it. Maybe it's worth the fact that it does contain toxins, but you enjoy perfume. But to counteract that, you don't eat junk food, you drink a lot of clean water without fluoride in, you work out a lot. For me personally, I have never really been into perfumes or things that smell strong, so it's something that's easy for me to cut out. But yeah, I just wanted to elaborate on why I don't have these kind of things in my home. If you enjoyed this video, or if it pissed you off, comment down below. Thank you so much to everyone who likes, comments, shares and subscribes. And thank you so much to everybody who donates to this channel. It really does help a great deal. Love you, bye.